This is a short film just to explain about going on solo or having a solo experience and what that is in the context of the Mark Scott Leadership for Life Award and the Outward Bound Trust work. So your solo experience is a very valuable opportunity to examine your learning. It's really useful either partway through an experience, so you can evaluate where you are, an action plan where you want to get to in the remainder of your experience, or it's an opportunity to actually just review what you've done before, an action plan for after your experience as well. It's really, really valuable and very rare that we actually get the opportunity to spend time alone. Now, for some people that can be really scary or uncomfortable. Some people, they really welcome that. And we all have different reactions to it, but it's valuable for us all. People have said that they have felt that it was an uplifting experience when they'd entered into it, that it was revolutionary for them. They realized things that they hadn't had the chance because they were so busy going from task to task to task, that until they sat down and thought about it and relaxed, they hadn't realized things. It was inspirational to sit and realize things about themselves, about their performance, some of the things that maybe they've been worrying about and realize they didn't need to. It was affirming. Solo is a process, and this film is mostly about getting that process organized and sorted. So you'll be given some materials and some advice and some briefing, and then once you set out on your solo, these are the things that you're going to need to go through, the process you go through. So find yourself a quiet, safe place, and out of doors is best. Not because it's cold and it's wet, because that might be the first thing you're thinking, but actually because we're surrounded by green, and that's where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be in green places. So we're finding somewhere that is natural. It has few distractions. Those distractions that are there are perhaps to do with nature. So there might be bees buzzing around or flies flying around. There might be seagulls flying past, but they're natural distractions. But there's lots of natural distractions that actually help us. So maybe the wind in the trees, sounds that we can hear. And also we can start to make ourselves a little nest perhaps. So we can take some things with us. So we can take some waterproof clothes perhaps. We can take a jumper, take a blanket if you want to, something to sit on. We can make ourselves comfortable, but we're sitting there, just us and the natural world. This isn't possible for you if you're not allowed out. If you can't get out, then find yourself a quiet space if you can. But the big thing is to go away from distractions. So remove distractions from yourself. Next up, when you go, take some paper and a pen with you. If you've been given a solo sheet, then take that with you and take something to sit on, as I said before. But paper and pen. So be prepared. You're going to be writing or drawing the things that come into your head as you sit there quietly relaxing, unencumbered by distractions around you. Set a timer on your phone for 45 minutes and then put the phone away. You're not going to look at it now. You're not going to check on the time because you will not understand how the time's going past. You can't measure 45 minutes. So you're just going to set that timing and you're going to keep going until your timer goes. Try a few of the questions on the sheet, if you've been given a sheet, to get yourself into the right place. Your brain's busy doing all sorts of other things. At the moment, you're wondering about what solo is and you're listening to this. What you need to do is you need to get your brain into a considering mode, if you like. Okay, so it's thinking about the stuff that we need to think about. So thinking about the experiences that you've had of late, and just letting things wash over you and letting your brain free run a little bit. So some of these questions will get you thinking around the right area. So think about some of those. And then sit quietly and still and trying to let your mind rest. Now, for some of you, especially those of people you're not looking into this at all, you're not looking forward to it, you're going to get bored possibly. But remember this, being bored is part of the process. You sit there quietly and your brain quietens down and you go through a bored phase. Now, for some people, that might last 40 out of the 45 minutes. Some people, it'll only last a couple of minutes, but you have to go through it. And if you're finding that bored phase lasts a long time, don't give up. Keep sticking with it, because what's on the other side of the bored phase is going to be really, really valuable. So stick with it. Eventually, your brain will start to produce useful thoughts and ideas, connecting experiences you've had, maybe as part of the award, maybe in real life, and connecting learning that you've had and things that you developed. And all these things, as they come to the surface, and you just need to write them down, record them in a way that you can. And ultimately, it doesn't need to be writing, but record them in a way that you can understand. And keep persevering. And as I said, the boredom might last 40, 80, 45 minutes. Those last 5 minutes will be a gem, really, really important. So make sure you stick with those. And don't look at your phone until it goes off. And that is your solo experience. If you really enjoy it, you could take part in an Outward Bound course. You might get to do it for 48 hours. But 45 minutes is good enough for us for the moment and where we are. Thanks very much.